What's up, guys? It's been a while since I've hung out with you guys, but I've learned a lot about the industry since I last talked to you guys, and ideally, I can give you guys some game so that you feel as prepared as you can for the current job market and how you can plan for your own success. Now, one of the big things that is almost a meme at this point is AI, and not really going to belabor the point. I think most of you guys are going in a bunch of rabbit holes with that as it is. What I would say is that I do see trends with artificial intelligence not waning down. Because of that, I think that for all of you guys who are out there right now and still have not gotten a coding job, my biggest recommendation for you guys, and ideally this can save you some time and effort, is to not just be applying for software engineer roles or software developer roles, but also take a look at all of the other professions and fields that exist in tech where your current coding skills may be an asset, as opposed to right now a lot of you guys don't have enough experience, so it's very, very hard to get you through the door, particularly with a decrease in jobs for junior developers. The market is much different than it was in 2019. It's much different than it was in 2020, then 2021 and 2022. This market is very, very harsh for younger developers, but that doesn't mean that this time has been wasted. What I recommend for you guys, as I said, is take a look at these alternative roles. Some alternative roles where your skills can actually be an asset for that particular role would be stuff like a QA engineer, QA tester, software support engineer, even getting into tech support. All of these roles don't directly have to do with you coding all the time, although sometimes you do, but it's a big asset if you do know how to code. I can verify that I know a QA tester who is easily bringing in somewhere between $80,000 to $90,000 a year verified, and I know that this particular QA tester doesn't know how to code at all, right? And for some of you guys, $80,000 to $90,000 of money is life-changing money. So if you can get over the kind of ego trap of wanting to get the title of software engineer and software developer, there are still roles out there in the tech industry that can pay you well. In this particular situation, the individual that I know also works fully remote and has a very lax schedule. So the lifestyle is there. The only difference is that they're just not pushing code as at all, actually, which is really interesting. But like I said, if you can get over that ego aspect of, hey, I need to be titled software engineer, because I know some of you guys have been on the road now trying to get this job. I know some of you guys over a year now. It doesn't really, what I would say is think about how important the money is to you. Think about how important the lifestyle is to you. And if you've already put in that work, then it's not such a bad idea to get your foot in the door with a not a lesser role, a different role though. Once you have a foot in the industry, if you still want to make the pivot to go and become a coder, at that point you can go ahead and do that in a lot easier of a fashion. Now that you're in the industry and you have actual professional tech experience, that transition will be a lot more smoother. I know of a particular DevOps engineer currently, AWS certified, who started in tech support, and across about a year and a half, because of the size of the company, he started to become more involved with the developers on the team. And as he was becoming more involved with the developers on the team, he was also educating himself on the side. And now he works as a full-time DevOps engineer. And this took him about, I would say, somewhere almost 2 years to make that transition. But while he was making that transition, continuing his education, he was already in the tech industry as a tech support person, but still always continually climbing to level up his skill set, to take on new challenges, to take on more technically difficult challenges. And then eventually he transitioned away from tech support completely and is now a DevOps guy. And you would never think of it. I mean, he's kind of one of these stories where you're like, man, how do these guys even do it? But there's more than just what you guys are being told in YouTube. There's more than just software engineer as being the important role in software development. There are so many different people that partake in that process that you don't have to be a coder to be making a large impact in the particular project. You guys can also think about alternatives, like looking at project management is also something that you can take a look at. You could take a look at being a Scrum Master. Many companies need Scrum Masters. These are all roles that you're not necessarily writing the code, but you're definitely helping your company be able to produce good software. So my biggest thing for you guys is that in a market where the roles of software engineers and software developers they seem to be becoming less and less around for the newbies, for the new guys, the guys that are fresh with the skill set, instead of going where all of the horde is still focusing their attention on, how about shifting your attention to a place where less people are putting their energy in? And a lot of people won't be able to make that switch because of their ego investment in code. And I say screw that. Ultimately, do you want the money? Do you want the lifestyle? And think about why it is that you're doing it. Some of you guys I know have families and you want to put food on the table, or maybe you're just tired of working at your restaurant job or your labor job and you've been at this for a while. If you can deal with the ego check and simply say, hey, you know what? My ultimate goal is to get into this tech industry, and long run, I could continue to play the game if I just pivot a little bit, you know? And I think that would be a wise thing for many of you guys to do. But if I said, hey, buddy, I want to cut you a check for $75,000 this year, and all I want you to do is test my software, would you take the check? Think about it. Because I know now of three verified instances where I know people are getting paid decent sums of money for never writing a lick of code. Where you guys are at right now with your skill set, you're trying to punch up, right? Because experience is always like the big wall that guys try to get through, and you guys don't have any experience right now. But when you go to these other roles like software support engineer, tech support, QA engineer, QA tester, those roles, your coding skills, you're punching down on those roles because many of the people who currently professionally fill those roles actually can't code. So if you're a person who can code and you go and you attack those roles, you're going to, more often than not, more likely than not, the hiring managers are going to see your skill sets as coders as an asset for that particular role. But if you could get over your first role not being a software engineer, then I think that even in the times that we're in, you can find yourself having employment opportunities. If you want to go and get my free salary report, go to getmoneycoding.com and download your free salary report. I'll likely be updating that here very soon. But if you guys just want like general advice, feel free to participate in the comment section. I'll be looking at the comments for this particular video. Feel free to be exhaustive. I'm here to help you guys in whichever way form that I can. Make sure to like on the video, and then also if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys, and I will catch you on the next video. Peace.